Adventure in Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Download!
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio. I'm here with...
You're here with Joe from Vower.
And Rabia from Vower.
Nice. Here at Download.
Yes, sir.
Have you played Download before?
Do you know what? We both have, but in different bands.
Different
so
bands.
This is the first time we've done it as Vower.
It was better this time, right? Because you were together, right?
100%, man. Yeah, it was a good time.
What do you love about Download?
I think I love the fact that everybody here there's a collective interest towards rock and metal and bands, and I don't know, it just feels like a really collectively enjoyable vibe. Everyone's kind of here just to unwind and have a bit of fun and listen to some great live music. So
like a big community family.
Basically, yeah. Live
right?
music's, still alive.
And speaking of community, I was noticing you have like a kind of community on your Instagram. Tell us about that, because that's kind of cool. I noticed that, like, I've been doing like fucking 30 interviews, so it's like swirling.
Yeah,
but it was like the Vower.
Oh, Vower Power.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I didn't really know what how to use those channels on Instagram, but
it's like a broadcast channel,
sure,
right?
Yeah, and it's just like, it's another really nice way for us just to be able to connect with people, and we use it for things like asking people what songs they want us to play live, what they might think of maybe like a certain type of artwork or merchandise that we're going to put out. It's just like a more direct way to connect with people when you're not actually face to face with them.
I love that.
Yeah, it's fun.
Because it gives people a voice.
Yeah.
And then they're more into you because
100%.
they're part of it.
Yeah.
What's the best request or advice you got from somebody in that broadcast channel?
The best, what, sorry?
The best advice or, suggestion or request that you've gotten from people in that you like the best?
Do you know, it's still relatively new, the channel. So actually, I think we did a shout out in there recently for where, and it's quite a classic question, but where would you like us to play? And it just gives us a much better idea of where people are based and where people are excited on hearing us play. So and we actually do take that into account when we're booking shows or having shows booked.
Where's been your most memorable place to play? Probably Download.
Most memorable. Well, the funny thing with us, we're only a year old as a band, so we've done less than 20 shows.
Really?
Yeah, which is kind of crazy. So it's funny because this would be one of the more memorable ones because it's Download Festival and everyone remembers playing Download if they get to.
It was a loaded question.
But then I would say our first gig was supporting one of our favorite bands of all time, which is Carnival. So
nice.
Getting to do that as our first outing was just insane. So I think we'll always remember that.
And you just had a new song drop recently, right? In May? Tell us about that song, or the listeners about songs
it's called Dead Weight.
Yeah.
And in a nutshell, me and Joe wrote it together in my studio, and we were so hyped on it. We sent the demo to the guys, and then they were immediately like, let's record this now. And I have my own studio, so we recorded it there, mixed it down, shot a video. Within 6 weeks of writing it, we'd released it.
Nice.
We were just that excited about it, so.
Well, I can tell you that, my only preparation for interviews is to listen to the band's music or go to their set or both. And that song is fucking badass.
Dude, thanks so much. Appreciate hearing that.
And now I hear 6 weeks. That's like old school, back in the day where you just wrote a song real quick and it turned out to be the fucking best song ever. How did you guys come together? You were both in different bands. How did this happen?
So we all live in the same city, both fans of each other's bands, and have been, both of our bands toured together in the past into the same styles of music. I think it was kind of naturally, we hang out anyway, and it was, both of the old bands ended at a very similar time as well.
That's wild.
Yeah, man, it's just one of those...
It's like divine intervention.
One of those things, yeah. And couldn't be happy with how things ended up. And it's a funny thing, that, because I think, in the moments of old things ending, like in your mind at those times you think, oh, this is the worst thing that could possibly happen. But now with that hindsight and where we're at now and what we're doing, like today, sat here talking to you, playing Download, it's like, dude,
It's wild, right?
I'm so glad everything has panned out the way it has.
See, I'm also a motivational speaker, so I believe in all that shit. Like, everything happens for a reason, and sometimes you can't explain it, but just one day there's a connection that just changes the trajectory of your life forever in a good way.
For sure.
So, like, we wouldn't have you guys, so thank God for that, you know? And because if those bands didn't end, or even at the same time,
exactly,
we wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
Timing's everything in life. So I look at it like, wow, that's something bigger than us that made that happen. So now, how do you top Download?
Well, do you know,
That's pretty hard, right?
Well, you know, we'll just keep writing music and keep doing our thing. Like, that's all we've done to get to this point so far. So naturally, I think that's what we'll continue to do and see where that lands us.
Nice.
I agree with Joe. It's just keep going, and if new opportunities and new exciting things come to us through being excited about what we're doing and working hard at it, then that's all we can really hope for.
I love that attitude. That means you're true musicians. Because it's like there's two types of musicians. There's more than that, but two that I think of. There's the ones that are musicians for the love of the music and creating, and then there's the ones that want to be rock stars.
Right.
The rock stars don't last. The guys like you do.
Thanks, man.
And I think you will, because if any of your other songs coming out after this are anywhere near the last one, oh my God, you'll be headlining Download.
I don't know, but thank you.
Did it blow your mind the kind of crowd you had today, last day of a festival during the day, especially after Saturday night of everybody probably partying all night long?
Yeah, honestly, you just never know. Like, I didn't even look at who we were clashing with, or like what the weather was doing, because that often has an effect on whether people are going to come in the tent or not. But set expectations fairly low, and then you're always, you know.
Right. And that tent, man, you think people aren't going to show up, and then all of a sudden you can't even get in the tent. It fills up so quick.
It was busy in there. And it's always just such a trip seeing people singing the words. Like, it always gets me. I'm just like, that people are into it like that. So.
Especially after only a year, right?
Yeah.
Like, if I were you, I'd be like, oh my God, it's blowing my mind. How do they know the words to the song? Yeah. That's when you know the music's good. Because for them to not only know the lyrics, but remember them and even be on time with them, you know, that's amazing. It's a testament of your creativity and your musical genius.
Thank you, sir. That's appreciated.
My pleasure. And so, what was that one thing that you could think of that where you woke up and you're like, this is all I can do is music?
Oh man, do you know what? It's been that way for quite a long time. And like, I don't think I'd do it unless it was one of the first things I thought about when I woke up, because your heart's got to be in it. Otherwise, like, the music's 100%. Not going to be good.
I don't get
right?
bands that just dial it in, because if you're going to be in this business, you better love it, because everything else sucks. Like, unless you love being a musician, why be one?
Also, like, you know, don't get me wrong, like, none of us are making a ton of money doing this.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like you gotta love it.
You're not doing it because you're gonna be there are no rock stars nowadays, and there's no money being thrown at you. You do it for the love of the creativity and because it's inside of you. So why, if it's not inside of you, be in this industry?
Yeah, man.
I always say that. What would be your answer to? What was that one moment in life that you knew music was what you needed to do?
I remember, I mean, similar to Joe, but like, I remember getting my exam results from school, and I remember going and picking them up in the hall where all the teachers that have taught you all through your school, and it's like the last thing you do, and then you leave school. Or you stay on and do college. Well, I didn't, I left. And I remember picking up my results. And one of the guys who thought I was a joke, like, I only tried in the subjects I enjoyed, like art, music, whatever. Math, English, I didn't care. I remember picking up my results, And he goes, what are you going to do now? And I said, I'm going to go and do music. And he laughed. And I remember just thinking, I'll fucking show you, man. Yeah. I remember that.
And here you are at Download, so you definitely showed that motherfucker.
Yeah. I'll never forget his face.
I love that story.
Likewise, I've never heard that before as well. That's so good.
Wow. That's like, you know who Michael Jordan is, the basketball player?
Of course.
He was told to stop playing basketball in high school by the high school coach because he sucked. You gotta prove them people wrong, and you guys definitely don't suck. You are badass. I'm glad you were here at Download, and thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
It's our pleasure. Thanks for having us.
My pleasure.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.